Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another maybe monthly vlog. This is the vlog for June of 2025, and it is a little late this month. I mentioned before, but we were on vacation. My partner and I went to Kauai, and I'll share some pictures and stuff of that here towards the later in the video. But we went on vacation, so contemplating doing a vlog at the beach, but it wasn't. We didn't have service everywhere, and it just felt weird. Like, I was trying not to be that guy, so we just kept the phone away for that kind of stuff. Took a lot of pictures, but that was really it. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of talk about some things that happened in in May. Good Lord, I don't know what day it is or month it is. And then kind of talk about some stuff happening in the month, and then we'll get into some of the stuff today. Today's gonna be a real fun day. I just want your thoughts on some games, but that's really gonna be it. Just a quick check-in. So in May, we did some new games. So we had Sky Tier Hordes campaign get delivered, so we did a playthrough of that. I really want to dive into that some more. The campaign mode's so-so, but I just want to play with more of the cards and have more things to use, and it's just a really good game. So now that the game is complete and there's basically 12 decks that you can deck build with, there's a lot of stuff to play with. So that's what has me a lot of fun. A lot of fun to deal with that. We did a couple playthroughs of Astronauts. Oh, Earth Abundance delivered too, so check that playthrough out. Ended up playing a rule wrong, but somebody points that out. But aside from that, it's all good. So really looking forward to the next expansion for that, which won't be till next year. But yeah, we did a couple playthroughs of Astronauts. We did a playthrough of Galactic Cruise with the Advancements expansion. So that was an expansion that kind of added some different... It added some ability, like special abilities for like the general like powers at the top. I can't remember what they're called. And then it added some like the rooms that don't line up, and a couple other things too, from what I remember. But that was kind of some of the stuff that got added. We'll be doing a playthrough of the accommodation expansion at some point, and then I want to do a playthrough of everything. So I broke my mic stand, so that's why I'm holding this because of this, which I can talk about too in a bit. We did, the only 5x5 playthrough it looks like we did was for Endless Winter, so that was a mistake. I didn't mean to do just one, but you know what? It is what it is. We did get a copy from Upper Deck, so thanks to them again. We got a copy of the 007 Thunderball expansion, so I did a playthrough unboxing that, and then two playthroughs showing off the new content. And yeah, I'm just not good at that game. Like, I'm just really not great at and it's funny because I feel like I'm not good at deck building, like a deck building game in general. I think Marvel Legendary kind of like broke my brain with how deck building works, because I feel like I can like more or less brute force that game and still win. And I can't do that with anything else. And I end up just buying like a bunch of cards when I'm playing, and it ends up just being a mess. So I have to probably play a little more tactically with Thunderball or with Bond. But it's still a really great game. It's a lot of fun, and it's such a fun... It's a really fun mechanically game, and I've mentioned this numerous times, but Bond's not a game that, like, Bond as a IP isn't something I'm, like, super invested in. Like, I'm indifferent to it. Not like I am with Marvel. Like, I love Marvel a lot, and I like Alien a lot, too. But Bond is just whatever, but the game mechanically is incredible. So if you guys haven't checked out Bond, I've got a ton of playthroughs on the channel. Go check those out. It's really good. It is really, really good. I promise. This isn't just a shilling moment. It's really good. We also started and finished in June, because last week we finished it, the Heat Pedal to the Metal Championship. So that was a game that I wasn't sure about when I first got it. But once you add in all the stuff, like the modules, especially the garage one where you can like draft cards, the game becomes significantly more interesting, because you are kind of doing your own asymmetry with that. And then when you're playing the championship mode, you do get a deck building element to it, because you're going to be adding stuff to your deck as the games progress. So game's great. I'm hoping eventually they get to a point where we get the legends for all the colors, so you can actually play with way more cars. But right now, the maximum number you can play with is 7, and I actually got the next expansion, so I've got the second one, where I have 8 cars, but again, there's no legends cards in there, so you have to either play with the purple car from the second expansion or the orange car from the first expansion to play with 7 cars. If you want to play with blue or any other color that comes in the base game like me, you can only do 6 at the most. So I'm thinking eventually, I think they're probably going to get up to 12, so I think eventually there'll have to be a way to play with everything, but we'll see. So I got that we did that, and then the games you guys voted on for May, were Sankori and Fantastic Factory, so we did playthroughs of those. Sankori ended up, again, like I think I mentioned it, but like the game's really interesting and it's a lot of fun, and I like these little mini game type games. It just takes up so much table space, it's hard to like kind of capture it all on camera. But I really like the AI system for the opponent, because it's a really fun, interesting way to create a dynamic opponent that will specialize. Sometimes it's hard with AI systems because they're just pulling a card from a deck and doing all this other stuff, and it can be random. I mean, some things will specialize them, but just by the nature of like how it builds and grabs its meeples, and it really focuses. I think that's just a really cool way that kind of creates a different opponent every time you play. So, and then there's 4 difficulty levels, which obviously make the game harder if you need to. So check that out. We also did, like I said, Fantastic Factory. It's a really great dice engine building game. Dice worker placement, sorry. I get home and like my allergies are killing me. But engine building and dice like worker placement, just a lot of fun. I love dice worker placement and I love engine building. So pretty quick, simple, fun game. For June, we've already had a couple of videos. Like I said, we finished out the championship. We had a Dune Imperium Uprising playthrough. I played a Dune Imperium on the plane, so really jazzed about playing Dune Imperium. So we did another Dune Imperium playthrough for the 5x5. We'll probably do a couple more this month, just to make sure I'm on track for the end of the year. We did a playthrough of Marvel Dice Throne Missions. We'll have another one coming up here shortly. And then I'm going to do another playthrough of Skara Brae. And I think going forward, when I've done this for a couple of my new videos, but especially if it's a game I'm really excited about. But I think just in general, when a new game comes, like a crowdfunded game or something that's really new, there's not a lot of content, I'm probably going to do 2 videos for that. Mostly because I've had people ask several times, will you do another playthrough of this, like after I've done the first one? And generally I think I do. But it helps me because it makes it to where like I can, do more than one video for a new game, and it just helps kind of spread some content around. And then also, like, it's just probably nice for searching, because I'm sure people are looking for videos and then they just see here's one playthrough and they'd like to see more than one, especially when it's a new game and there's like an introductory scenario or like a base setup thing that people typically stick with. I think it would be nice to like do that and then do one that kind of configures other things. So I think going forward we'll probably do a couple playthroughs of new stuff depending on what the game is. So yeah, we'll do probably more than one for new games. So we'll do another playthrough of Skara Brae. Viscounts of the West Kingdom was one of the guys. Well, I'm going to take a step back. You guys voted on in June Viscounts of the West Kingdom, Lost Ruins of Arnak. It was a deck building theme vote. It was those 2 games, The Loop and Unstoppable, and Viscounts and Arnak won. So those playthroughs will be coming up this month. Arnak is coming in a couple weeks, but Dune Imperium. Viscounts of the West Kingdom will be Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. Pulling Arnak back out was a lot of fun, and it made me remember how much I liked that game, which has been a theme this year of, oh yeah, I really love this game. And it's been forever since I played it, so that's been the really funny part. And I played it back when the expansion for the campaign had come out, and then I like did 4 parts of that campaign and then just like put it away and never came back to it. So we'll probably end up doing a campaign of that in the next couple months, because I think I can get it out I can do it probably in a couple sessions, like for myself, a couple sessions, and I want to get it out before the big box comes out with that new expansion. So that'll be some stuff we'll be seeing over the next couple months for that. And then I mentioned in the last month's video when we did Scythe that I would like to do a Rise of Fenris, and I had people say yes, they'd like to see that. So we'll do a Rise of Fenris and I want to start it. Probably I was going to try to start it in June, but we may start it in July, and I'll try to get a bunch of it recorded in June. It just kind of depends, because we're already about a quarter into the month, and I have like nothing. So I've got to like figure out my pacing and stuff. Taking like over a week off of recording ends up just dwindling down stuff. So I've got to reassess some things there. What else we have coming in July or June? Like I said, I'll try to do accommodations, or not accommodations, the accommodation expansion for Galactic Cruise this month. I keep talking about doing Andromeda's Edge, and I keep pushing it back. Truthfully, I got it out, set it all up, started playing it, and just was like not like emotionally into it, and I felt like that wasn't a really fun experience. So I need to like reset myself and just be okay and not feel like I have to force out. So I do my best to say like I'm going to do this, but it doesn't really happen. So Andromeda's Edge will be coming at some point again because I would like to play it on this nice table here, but yeah, it'll come at some point. We'll see. So yeah, that's all I can commit to for June for sure. But of course, we'll have 4 videos a week. So I got, I think June, Falcon and Winter Soldier come out for Champions, which I got Silk and Shuri and haven't played them yet. Like I got them and sleeved them and put them away. So I'm sure I'll do that with them too. We'll see how I feel about that, if we want to bring that back out or not. But we might. We'll see. Let's see. What else? Oh, yeah. So for the month of July, the poll is going to be games we've already featured on the channel again, but they're going to be hard modes. So, I've been doing this hard mode thing that I've been doing some games and visiting their hardest difficulty settings. And so these ones are going to be some games obviously featured on the channel before, but I do want to explore the hard difficulties and see how fun those might be. So the first game on that choice, so this is for you guys to vote on. Again, the top 2 highest results end up getting made. So we have Scholars of the South Tigris that we'll do on hard mode, Daitoshi on hard mode, the White Castle on hard mode, and SETI on hard mode. So those are the 4. So pick which one of those 4 you'd like to see on the hardest setting, and we'll be playing those for July. Yeah, I think that kind of covers the stuff we did in June. Some of the stuff we're coming up in July. I do have a worm span on hard mode in July too. So yeah, so that's kind of just a little bit of a recap and what's to come. I did want to talk about it's Merry Switchmas week. So while I was gone, the Switch 2 released. So I got my big old boy here, Switch 2 here, and I just want to do a little bit of a size comparison. Here's the OLED Switch 1 and the Switch 2. So obviously, thing is chunky, big chunky boy. This is kind of sad because I got this 2 years ago. I had an OG Switch, of course, but I went ahead and got the OLED because I wanted the Zelda thing. I did want to compare these to how giant the new Joy-Con are. So I'm kind of just disappointed that it didn't get that much use, all things considered, because I only had it for 2 years. And at that point, I got this for Zelda, obviously, and didn't get to play on it nearly as much as I did my Switch 1. And then I did get a Switch 2 Pro controller, which I already have 2 Switch Pro controllers, a regular one and this Monster Hunter one. So the Switch 2 one isn't too different from a button layout perspective, but the Switch 2 also has a 3.5 millimeter jack, which I don't really know what it's for except maybe voice chatting. And then it's got these special bumper buttons that you can map to stuff. So I haven't played with that yet, but for the most part, the layout's pretty close. The controller feels super nice though. So, and then I went ahead and got this because I think this is the greatest controller of all time. The GameCube controller. It's my favorite controller ever. So I had to get this to virtual console stuff. So this is a Switch 2 controller, but it's a GameCube one. So anyway, I've been playing Cyberpunk because that's the only game I bought for Switch 2. And going back to some older games. I mean, I've played a ton of Pokemon, but yeah, I've been playing Cyberpunk there, so you can see. Started playing that. So if you guys gotten a Switch 2 or interested in getting one, and if you have or haven't, or you have, did you get Mario Kart? Did you get other games? I'm not a big racing fan, so I didn't get Mario Kart, but yeah, looking forward to some of the third-party titles coming, like Borderlands 4 coming out later this year, and then of course the first-party stuff with Metroid Prime 4, Pokemon ZA, Donkey Kong. So I'll probably get those for sure for this. But yeah, just been enjoying this since I got off the plane yesterday. So yeah, and so yeah, let's kind of, I want to kind of share some of my pictures from Kauai. So Kauai is an island. It's the second western island, I think, in Hawaii. So it's pretty far. We flew from, so we left Thursday the 29th at 6 a.m. We flew to Denver, which was a pretty quick flight. Then we flew to Oakland, and then from Oakland we flew directly to Lahui, which is the area where the airport is on Kauai, which is like a 5.5 hour flight. And there are like chickens everywhere on the island. At some point, I think they said there's I don't have very many of them because they're chickens, but there's like there is like hold on, let me go back here for a second. There's like 450,000, I think, is what when I googled it, chickens per like on the island. And these are like brought over by, I don't know if they're brought over by the Polynesians or by the like Europeans, but they were brought over because they're not native to the island. So yeah, there's just like chickens everywhere, and they're constantly, like, the roosters are constantly crowing, like all day, all times of night. They're just being wild. So this was a picture of our Airbnb was. So like we stepped out, and this was like kind of like where a lot of the cars were parked in this grass, but this was like the view of right side of our Airbnb. It's very beautiful, very pretty. It rained a lot there. If you've been to Hawaii before, it rains a lot there in general, but there were days where like it was really cloudy, so I was kind of nervous about how much the weather was going to be and if it would inhibit us from doing anything. You should be able to tell I'm a little tanned. I might be a little tan. I don't know. I'm a little tanned. But yeah, we ate a lot of food. We went on a lot of hikes. I can't swim, so it's kind of a funny thing that I went to an island that's like beaches and stuff, and I can't swim. But I did a little snorkeling. I couldn't get pictures of the snorkeling because I didn't want to stick my phone underwater, although I probably could have. But yeah, we went on this really interesting hike, and I wanted to share this. I was like, oh, it'd be fine. And there were like so many times on this hike where the trail just like disappeared, and like I guess that's the trail, and we would just like start to go on it, and then eventually a trail would pop up. And at one point, we're literally in the middle of bamboo. Like, this was crazy. Like, it was almost kind of eerie because the clouds kind of overcasted and it was dark, and then it was just like bamboos everywhere. It was a little unsettling. There was this really giant tree, which was neat, that was like in the middle of all the bamboo. At one point it did rain, and so this was a really pretty hibiscus that I picked up when it was raining. Yeah, it was just really cool. And then of course we went to, this was the same day, just a beautiful beach. And this was a lot of our time there. And then one of the other days we went to a beach called Poipu Beach, that it's famous for just green sea turtles just coming up to the beach and like hanging out, and they're just up there basking, just chilling in the sun. Very beautiful. Turtles are my favorite animal, so it was exciting to see that. Earlier this same day we went to these falls, which I don't remember the name of it, but allegedly these are taller than Niagara Falls, so I don't know if that's true or not. The little book we had said that it was, because they like measured it. And then also this same day we went to this botanical garden that was really pretty, and there was a lot of flowers there. This garden is a conservation area, so they're like growing a lot of plants that not only I think for Hawaii, but like just in general, that like are, because Hawaii is like basically a tropical climate, so you can like grow all kinds of stuff there. So they're growing all sorts of things for food, for other conservation efforts, and obviously there's a lot of really pretty flowers there. You can see just took a lot of these really pretty flowers. Actually, the main reason I really wanted to show you guys this was this little lizard guy here, and man, he was fun. And they're all over the island. These are these green, they're like sun geckos or something like that, day geckos. And this is like my favorite picture I've ever taken. So I took this picture. He hid in that plant, and he was just hanging out, and he was just staring at me. So this is probably my favorite picture I took while I was there. So I did want to share that with you guys. What else did we do? Yeah, a lot of food. I had never had Spam before, so I got some of this. I ended up eating so bad for myself. I'm not really supposed to have carbs and sugar, obviously, being a diabetic. But my A1C's been incredible, and I haven't had to check my blood sugar in like a year and a half, so I figured it's okay to let loose a little bit. So I had this musubi, I think that's how it's pronounced. This was delicious. I tried to be good, so I got some poke on a salad. It was very, very good. I'm sure the sauce in here was not good for me. We did what else? Oh yeah, this was awesome. This is a place called Puka Dog, and Puka Dog right here, they're famous for, puka means whole in Hawaiian, and they're famous for this hot dog that they take the bun and they put a hole in it, and then they stick the hole on like this kind of thick like metal skewer thing that toasts it from the inside, Then they like squirt all this sauce and stuff in there, and then they stick the hot dog, and then it's like this beef, just giant beef Polish dog, and then there's like sauce in here. Dude, it was awesome. This was incredible. This was banging, dude. This was amazing. And the line, this is it right here, up here, and the line's out the door, like around the corner. It was so good. Puka dog, if you ever go, was awesome. But yeah, I did not do well. Oh yeah, I had this falafel shawarma while I was there. Oh dude, this was so good, man. Food was killer. But yeah, we did a lot of hikes. We went up, we did kayaking, and we went up this river to this like waterfall at the end here. It was really pretty. That was really nice. And yeah, I mean, oh yeah, and this was the day we went to a beach. The day I snorkeled actually, and this was on the beach. And I'll leave you guys with this beautiful rainbow on Poipu Beach. But yeah, that was kind of my Hawaii trip. Not a lot, just wanted to share some pictures. You know, we haven't gone on a vacation in a really long time, especially just me and her, so it was really nice for us to go. And everything's very expensive there, which makes sense. They have to bring everything by boat. But yeah, it was really pretty, and it was awesome. And oh, here's this pier that I didn't even mean to move, but this is a little nice pier, which was really cool. So anywho, that was mostly what I was doing the last 10 days or so. So sorry that, you know, I tried my best to get onto you comments and things like that, but that was really kind of the deal there. So the last kind of thing I wanted to talk to you guys about for this month was just some games I'm interested in, and whether or not you've played them, and if you have any interest in them being on the channel. You guys, I feel like you guys have a good gauge of what I'm into and the games I like based on what's been on the channel. And so if you guys have played in these games or are interested in them or know anything about them, I'd love your guys' insight, because I might want to get some of these games and feature them on the channel. There's just been some games I've been eyeballing. So this will be another poll we'll do. And just if you had to buy one, or if you really like it and think I'd like it, just tell me. So the games I wanted to show off were Reef Project. This is a game I've been interested in a long time from Board and Dice. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. For no reason really, aside from I just haven't, because I think Board and Dice has been killing it with their stuff recently. The games are beautiful, and they're good. They've all been good. Like, I don't know that they've had anything particularly bad in general, but like just everything recently has been great. And their new T game coming out at Essen looks awesome. I forget the name of it, but it's like based on ancient China. It looks really great. So Reef Project, this is a game that I've been interested in a while, and plus I love that it's, you know, animal or like reef themed. So if you guys have played this, let me know if you guys think I would like it. But this is Reef Project. That's game number 1. Game number 2 is Galileo Galilei. Now, Tomas Holik, who did SETI, which I love SETI, designed this game, and this came out also at the same time SETI did at Essen. And this is his other game that is that has solo. Tea Garden is 2 to 4 players. So I was really interested in this when it was coming out in the US, but then so many people that I've seen online do not think the solo mode is very good, or it feels really samey. So I'm conflicted, right? Because I don't know how I don't mind the solo being hard, because I think that's one complaint. But the sameness of it, I don't know how I feel about that. So if you guys have played this, let me know. And I don't know if maybe the expansion that's coming out later is going to address some of the things that people complained about with the solo mode. But if you guys have played this, let me know. And if you guys think it's a good game that I would like it, let me know, because SETI knocked my socks off, and I'm really looking forward to things this designer does. So I really want to see how this works, and plus there's dice, and just, I don't know, I just really am interested in this, and I want it to be good, and I'm afraid it's not going to be for me. Let me just put it that way. So game number 2 is Galileo Galilei. Number 3 is Stevens. So this one also came out at Essen last year, and I kind of pushed off from it a little bit, but then I randomly will like pull it back up and look at it, and I think the solo mode has like a set of challenges, so I think that's where the interesting kind of play comes in from a solo perspective. Because I thought it was just like a beat your own score, but I think you pick like a difficulty and you can play to a score, so you can technically have a win or loss condition, which I don't particularly love beat your own scores, but if they have like a win-loss condition or like a point threshold, then I'm all for it. And so I want to know if you guys have played Stevens. From my understanding, it's like an engine building game, but it's like a shared engine, so I don't know what it looks like from a solo perspective or a competitive perspective, but if this is ever going to load. But Stevens is another game I've been interested in. Yeah, let's take a look and see what this says about here at the solo mode at the bottom. Looks like it's kind of a heavier game too. We'll see. But so solo. So there's easier, there's a normal, and there's a hard. So that kind of triggers some things. There's the odd Thomas turn, and then you have these like opponent variants. So for an additional challenge, you may choose the various opponent cards you can play against, and choose randomly before your first turn. Choose a difficulty level. So I think calculate final score, sum up your points, validate your score according to the difficulty level you chose from the beginning of the game. So I think we can there's a way to basically make it so that we can win the game or lose the game depending on whatever. So that's kind of I don't mind that kind of stuff when it comes to a solo game. I just don't want it to be a beat your own score because I don't find that as compelling. So if you guys have played Stevens, let me know. And the last one's Pergola, which is not a Euro at all. This is I think you draft these little shovels, and they let you get elements to put on your board. And they're just really nice little pretty boards, and it just looked like it was a nice game. So this is another game I've been interested in, but I'm not sure. And I think the solo mode has some challenges. So you have to see if you can do certain things. And then in the back of the book, there's the scores by the designers, and I think those are target scores to beat. So these are the games. If you guys have played these games or think I might be interested in these games, please let me know. I've just been looking for some new games. So Pergola, Stevens, Gallo, Galley, and Reef Project. Those are what I got. So anywho, that's going to be it. We've gone long enough for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support on the channel. But until next time, thank you guys so much. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.